Of Thursday night's Facebook record sale. And let's see what we have here. April is for some reason blowing up my phone, but I'm just going to ignore. Let's see here. Let's get this shared in the group. Whole lot of records. And let's go over here and get it shared on YouTube. Part 2. Share. Copy link. Story. April's going to bed. Of course. Link. Here's part 2. Live. Bargeron. Nick Bargeron. You're Bagaron. Nick Bagaron. All right, let me go here to chat. All right, let's get started for part 2. So here's all of tonight's newest vintage stuff, which I think we've officially went through 3 times. We went through it once, and then we did a recap. And then I think I went through it again, and I've went through it again, and that's why there's only a half of a crate left. If you missed any of that, you'll have to go rewatch part 1. Go watch the last part of part 1. That is all the new vintage stuff from the Madison collection that was shown tonight. Now, as always, I think it's how we ended part 1, but I do need to go through tonight's new vinyl, and I'm actually going to condense it with another crate we went through. Right here, I'm going to condense it. We went through another random crate that was over here, and we sold almost like an entire bin of new vinyl just randomly of some older stuff. So that tells me we need to go through that stuff again. So let me do that. That cure to your left, can I have it? That is pending. I'm supposed to see if somebody has it on their invoice. If not, then I've got to sell it to them. So yes and no, James Bragg, yes and no. How about I put you down as second on it? I think it's going to be spoken for, and I don't think I can get those anymore, but we'll see. So yeah, please go ahead and share part 2. We're going to be live for right at an hour. We're going to go to about 11:30. We probably have time to do a new vinyl recap, maybe one other bin of new vinyl. We might bring this one up here. Looks like some interesting stuff right here. So we might bring up that bin of new vinyl, bring it up right to the front, and then Story of My Life, second. Well, maybe you'll be first on this one. We'll see what happens. But yeah, let's go through this bin. It's new arrivals and that other bin from last night. We're going to go through at least 2 crates of half off. So we have time, about an hour. A crate average is about 20 minutes if I'm really rolling. So 4 crates, that's probably a little over an hour. We might not even have time for 4 crates. These new vinyl crates they can go a little faster though if we're just recapping, especially if I go ahead and get started. Here's probably the record of the week in sales, which is Rage Against the Machine, Evil Empire, $31.99 for Evil Empire if you don't have one of those already. We have Matchbox 20, Yourself or Someone Like You, that is on red vinyl. Yourself or Someone Like You, those are all I have left right there. So Rage Against the Machine, Matchbox 20. Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced? Hendrix is $28.99. Clash, London Calling. The Clash is $39.99 for London Calling. Oasis, What's the Story? Morning Glory. Oasis is $38.99 for What's the Story? Morning Glory. The Foo Fighters' Greatest Hits. That is $44.99. The Foo Fighters' Greatest Hits. The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that's the original on red vinyl. That is $38.99 for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Sonic Youth is $33.99, Sonic Youth Goo. Queen's Greatest Hits, $39.99 for Queen's Greatest Hits. David Gilmour, On an Island, $34.99 for David Gilmour, On an Island. Queen, Hot Space. Queen is $44.99. We have Rancid, $29.99. Rancid is $29.99. Bruce Springsteen, Greatest Hits is $44.99. Bruce Springsteen's Greatest Hits, $44.99. Madman Across the Water, Elton John, $36.99. Audio Slave, Out of Exile, $59.99. John Lee Hooker, $28.99. Blues Traveler, $49.99. Neck Deep, Rain in July, $28.99. That's on orange vinyl. Motley Crue, $33.99. Theater of Pain. Steve Miller Band, $36.99. And XTC, Drums and Wires, $33.99. So we've been through, that's tonight's new arrivals, and that was a bin we already went through tonight. If anybody wants anything in here, now's the time. That is Rage Against the Machine, Matchbox 20, Jimi Hendrix. Chris Kirkley wants a Rage Against the Machine. Do you still have Smashing Pumpkins Gish? Yes, I do, surprisingly. Yes, I only have one, I can see them. I've only got 1 or 2 copies left. Jimi Hendrix, The Clash, Oasis, Foo Fighters' Greatest Hits, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Sonic Youth, Queen's Greatest Hits, David Gilmour, Queen, again, Rancid, Bruce Springsteen, Elton John, Audio Slave, John Lee Hooker, Blues Traveler, Neck Deep, Motley Crue, Steve Miller Band, and XTC. That's all that's left in there. Jared, I think I have 1 or 2 of those, and they're $39.99. All right, I'm going to move this right over here. If anybody decides they want anything in there, speak now or forever hold your peace. He says, pull me a Gish. That's right over there. And while you're in the R's, see if we have Battle of Los Angeles. Excuse me. See if we have Battle of Los Angeles, RATM. All right, let's go through this bin of new vinyl. Look like some stuff in here I hadn't shown in several shows. So let me go through this, and then we'll start our half-off vintage stuff. We have Leonard Skinner's Street Survivors. We sold an OG copy tonight. This one is new and sealed. It's a remaster. Leonard Skinner's Street Survivors, $34.99. How about some Collective Soul? This is their most recent album, Vibrating. This is $31.99. The Cure, is it still available? There is now, I think this belongs to Sean Fairweather. If he doesn't want it, then there's somebody else in line, and then James Bragg, and then somebody else. So, no, it's not really available, but I've got to check and make sure to figure out where Sean's is at. There's Gish for Jared Benoit. Jared, did we have any Battle of Los Angeles? We're going to check on that from Rage Against the Machine. Collective Soul is on blue vinyl, $31.99. Bob Marley, Uprising, $36.99. That's the Tough Gong pressings. Bob Marley is $36.99. Slipknot Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses, $36.99. Purple vinyl. Judas Priest, Defenders of Our Faith. Judas Priest is $29.99. Stevie Nicks, this is her greatest hits. Crystal Visions, the very best of Stevie Nicks, $39.99. Sex Pistols, No Future UK. That's on yellow and black vinyl. Sold out of Rage. It may be in one of these other bins. If not, then I need to order some, Jason. Black Label Society, School Age, Record Store Day, green vinyl, $39.99. Kid Rock's Greatest Hits, $36.99. Rush, Fly By Night, $39.99 for Rush, Fly By Night. Run the Jewels, this is $69.99. This is Run the Jewels 3 on a limited edition import, white and gold vinyl, $69.99. James Bragg on SP, that's for the Sex Pistols. Sell that to James Bragg. Daft Punk, this is called Discovery by Daft Punk, $39.99. Tonic, Lemon Parade. Tonic is $38.99 for Lemon Parade. Music on vinyl pressing, limited edition. ZZ Top, Fandango, new and sealed, $31.99. Days of the New, $49.99. DJ Jazzy Jeff, he's the DJ with the Fresh Prince, Will Smith, $36.99. U2 on limited edition red vinyl, How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. That is $36.99. U2, How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. Velvet Revolver, music on vinyl, $49.99. Velvet Revolver. Got 3 of those, $49.99. Bob Marley, Natty Dread, another Jamaican pressing, $36.99. U2 Boy, $34.99. Billy Strings, Me and Dad, indie exclusive clear smoke vinyl, $39.99. Chris Stapleton from Room A, Volume 2, $33.99. Here's one I can't believe we still have, Burning with I Shot the Sheriff, Bob Marley, $36.99. Aerosmith, Permanent Vacation, $38.99. And the other Bob Marley is Uprising, and I think we had a copy of that in the back, so I guess we got 3 of those. We do. Pretty good assortment there. Figured we'd sell a few more out of there. Might go through that one tomorrow night during prime time. We got Bob Marley, Aerosmith, Bob Marley, Chris Stapleton, Billy Strings, U2, Bob Marley, Velvet Revolver, U2, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Days of the New, ZZ Top, Tonic, Daft Punk, Run the Jewels, lots of Rushes, Kid Rock, Black Label Society, Stevie Nicks, Judas Priest, Slipknot, Collective Soul, and Leonard Skinner. Those are all available. And let's do some half-off records. I think everybody's in a half-off vintage mood right now. So I grabbed the next pile of half-off. Let's see what we got in here. I'm going to be telling you the half-off price. We're going to go through this one and then one more. Anthony Webb says, can I get a Daft Punk? You can. I posted that earlier also on the wall pictures I posted in the group because we got a bunch of them. I will sell you one of those. Those are $39.99. Sell that to Anthony Webb. And we have which Black Label Society? Well, Martin, this one is called School Age, but I want to let you know we have a ton of them in stock. That one's called School Age. It's got a little bit of a corner ding on it, actually. School Age, and that's on limited edition green vinyl, which was originally a record store day. If you're interested in Black Label Society titles, I won't bring them over here, but I can read them to you. I've also got Black Label Society School Age, The Blessed Hell Ride, 1919 Eternal, Stronger Than Death, Mafia, Alcohol Fueled Brutality, and Doom Crew Inc. I've got all those over here. Those are all Black Label Society titles. Okay, half off records. Let's see what we have in here. The Doobie Brothers, Minute by Minute, half off price, $7.50. The Doobie Brothers, $7.50. So I'm going to be telling you the half off price. We have the commemorative edition. Hey, there's our nightly JFK record. He makes an appearance. This is inaugural addresses. $10 is the half off price for that. Well, there's JFK again. Now for sure, he has made his nightly appearance. The JFK Memorial Album, $10 on the JFK Memorial Album. Robert Francis Kennedy, there's his brother, who was also tragically assassinated. $12.50. Robert Francis Kennedy, a memorial album. Troy Shark, first on the Doobie Brothers. John, or is this Jan or Jan or John? Jan Ankerman. I think that's Jan Ackerman. Profiles. $10 is the half off price for that. Jason F. wants the JFK inaugural addresses. That's sold to Jason Forner at half off. This is Sergio Mendez, $5. Sergio Mendez, $5. Kind of looks like Elon Musk. $5 for Sergio Mendez. The Norwood soundtrack with Glenn Campbell, Kim Darby. Norwood is $10 after the half off. This is the Four Seasons. Someone wrote Grand Funk Railroad on the cover. Let me make sure it's not a Grand Funk disc in here. Looks like somebody had a jacket and they put it's the Four Seasons. Genuine Imitation Life Gazette. That is, half off price is, what happened to the price tag? It's a VG Plus, $5. $5 for the Four Seasons. We got that and that. What was the Fine Young Cannibals? That was Fine Young Cannibals, not the one that has She Drives Me Crazy. But if you're not looking for that one, then it's probably the one you want. Rick Derringer, Guitars and Women. Rick Derringer is $10. The Sweet Inspirations. The Sweet Inspirations is a VG copy, $10. The Sweet Inspirations, VG copy, $10. Rosie Taylor wants the Four Seasons. Of course, Ed, these are half off. I don't know how you're doing that, but you're just marking them half off. Okay. Seth can do the math. Rosie gets Four Seasons. Brian C. wants Rick Derringer. That's sold to Brian C. Every Man Has a Woman soundtrack. That is $10. Music by John Lennon, Elvis Costello, Eddie Money, Roseanne Cash. That is $10. Johnny Winter and, half off price on that is $10 for Johnny Winter and. The Kaz and Kants Sing It Orchestral Circus. You can guarantee to see that record in the half off bin. That's $10 for the Kaz and Kants Sing It Orchestral Circus. Los Lobos, A Time to Dance. Los Lobos is $10. The Electric Horseman soundtrack, music by Willie Nelson, $10 on the Electric Horseman. And we have Ruth Brown and her Rhythm Makers. Ruth Brown is $10. We've got Nick Bagaron, Travis Garrett, and 2 or 3 others watching the wrong video. They're all commenting on the wrong video right now. They're watching part 1. So they're missing out. Los Lobos sold to Brian Hummel. Brian C. was second. We have $5 for Tom Jones. $5 for Tom Jones, 5. And Art Linkletter narrates the story of Where Did You Come From? That is $7.50. $7.50. Art Linkletter, $7.50. Don Potter is $10. Paul Revere and the Raiders, Revolution, that is $6.50. Joe Sample, $5 for Joe Sample. John McLaughlin, Belo Horizonte, that is $10. Eddie Kendricks, Vintage 78, Eddie Kendricks is $7.50. Dan Hill, Longer Fuse, Dan Hill is $5. The original soundtrack to Lolita is $5. And Kevin Odgaard, that is $10. So, if you just joined us, we're doing a half-off bin. Most of these records have been here 1 year, over 1 year, or they're about to be here 1 year in a month or 2 at most. So these are all half-off. I'm telling you the half-off price, just like any other bin. It's first come, first serve. I've got this one, and then I've got one more to go through. Sugar with Stanley Turrentine. That is $10 after the half-off. Stanley Turrentine. Patty Sweet wants the Tom Jones Tom. That's sold to Patty Sweet. And Patty, I noticed you sent us a message because you are a first-time buyer. Thank you for doing that. I didn't even recognize. I have somebody else named Patty something. That's Patty Anderson Williams, but for some reason I just was getting you confused with her. But thank you for messaging our page. We send invoices on Sundays and Mondays. We're having another show tomorrow night and Saturday night. The original soundtrack to Phaedra, one of the two. That's a VG Plus, $7.50. Phaedra. Thank you, Ed. Phaedra. Stepmothers, You Were Never My Age. Stepmothers is $12.50. Tony Carey, Some Tough City. Tony Carey is a VG Plus, $7.50. Kentucky Heritage. Kentucky Heritage is $10. The Kentucky Gentleman. Mark Almond and Mark Almond 73 and Mark Almond Rising. That's a 2-in-1. $10. You still owe us a Silk Degrees tonight. What is that? The artist or album? What is that? Silk Degrees. You know what it's done? Boz Scaggs? Oh yeah, that's a Boz Scaggs album. Orion Country. Orion is gold vinyl, $10. The Buckingham's Portraits. Buckingham's Portraits is $7.50. Xerox is $10. Xerox, $10. Oh, he's probably saying I haven't shown him a nightly Boz Scaggs yet. Just give it time. Kid Creole and the Coconuts. Kid Creole, the half-off price is $10. Power Dog, that's interesting looking. Power Dog is $10 after the half-off. Herb Albert, Under a Spanish Moon. Herb is $10. Sergio Mendes, Brazil 86, $7.50. You Can't Sit Down, the DeVales. The DeVales is $7.50. The Lemon Poppers, Jungle Marmalade, $10 on the Lemon Poppers. The New Girl in School and Dead Man's Curve, Jan and Dean, $10, half off price. Crimson Tide is $10. Ed Nelson wants Z and E. Z and E. I did not have. That's the first thing I thought of, Zager and Evans. Maybe he was wanting, I don't know. I got Z Rocks. We'll see what he says. And then Nick Bagaron wants JD. Nick, you were watching the wrong video earlier. I saw your comments. I get notifications anytime anybody comments on anything that's not our live feed. And I was seeing you and Travis Garrett. Y'all were watching the wrong show. But you're on the right one now. Make sure you always check the title of the feed before you click on it and start watching. Nick Bagaron got Jan Dean. We'll see what Ed Nelson wanted. Bronco Billy soundtrack. That is $10 after the half off. Linda Ronstadt, What's New? That's a Poland, made in Poland, $5. Dr. Hook, Bankrupt. Dr. Hook is $10. Dr. Hook, Bankrupt. The Village People, Go West, $7.50 on the Village People. Christopher Cross, Another Page. Christopher Cross is $5. Orleans, Walking and Dancing, with possibly the worst cover of all time. Orleans is $5. That's no wonder they didn't sell well. Al Stewart, Time Passages, $7.50. Al Stewart, Time Passages. Somebody needs to get that, $7.50. And Year of the Cat, both Al Stewarts. Those are $7.50 and $10. Nick Bagaron is first on Christopher Cross. Jackie, you were second. Craig, you're first on Al Stewart. Let me know if you want Time Passages or Year of the Cat. There's Highway 101. Highway 101 is $7.50. Paul Anka Gold is $7.50. Paul Anka Gold. And Singing My Songs, Dallas Frazier, $7.50. He's going to get both Al Stewart. So Craig Johnson. Jimmy Ball, you would be second on Year of the Cat. Alice is going to get the Orleans album. She said she don't mind the cover. She's just going to listen to the music. What was their, I don't know if that even has really their, I'm trying to think about the song I know from them. And Mike Post wants Highway. Highway, Still the One. Is it on there? Okay, Still the One. Yeah, it's on there. It's got the hit. Mike Post on Highway. And we've got Nat King Cole. Where did everybody go? Nat King Cole was $5. Well, he was a good dresser, for sure. He dressed Dance With Me. Yes, Dance With Me. That's the other one. Sound of Descent. Sound of Descent is a VG Plus, $7.50. And Work It Out with Chet Atkins. Some Chet Atkins workout music, $5. Jimmy Ball first on Nat King Cole. Jimmy Ball first on Nat King Cole. All right, Ed, I'll put your granola bar you gave me. Ed gave me a granola bar during the break, but I'm trying to fast. I may eat that tomorrow instead of tonight. I'm going to eat it regardless, so. I'm going to not try to eat tomorrow until about 1 o'clock, so. I've been cooking steak like every other day, and I'm almost tired of it. I mean, I'm tired of steak. Completely done with it. I'm going to go out to eat the rest of the week. No more steak. I've been eating steak and ribeye and just tired of it. It takes so long to cook, too. I'm like, man, I've got to be doing stuff. I don't have time to cook food. All right. Does the new Winger? Yes, I ordered it. I hope I get some. That's a Friday music release, and I hadn't seen it ship yet, so just stand by on the Winger. All right, let me run through these one more time. This is the half-off crate. Let's go through it one more time. Where's the half-off Beatles? That don't usually happen unless it's like a Ringo Starr rotogravure or George Harrison somewhere in England. Maybe those. Okay, these are all half off. One more time before I go get another crate. JFK, $10. Robert Francis Kennedy Memorial, $12.50. Jan Anchorman Profile. Sergio Mendes. Glenn Campbell. The Sweet Inspirations. Every Man Has a Woman soundtrack. There's some Beatles. There's John Lennon. Johnny Winter. Kaz and Kantz. Electric Horseman. Ruth Brown. Art Linkletter. Don Potter, Paul Revere, Joe Sample, John McLaughlin, Eddie Kendricks, Dan Hill. Let's see, Sweet, $5. What was Sweet? Sweet Inspirations. Sell that to John Moreno for $5. Lolita, Kevin Odgaard, Stanley Turrentine. Where's Doc Smith at? He hadn't been on tonight. He would have bought Stanley Turrentine. Matthew Chris says he'd give 6 for the Art Linkletter. Art Linkletter. Sell that to Matthew Christ for $6. We're going to sell the Every Man Has a Woman soundtrack to Rosie for $5. So 6, 5. We got a $7 offer and an $8 offer on Stanley Turrentine. Dale, you're beat out by $1, but you still got dibs. Let me know if you want it for $8. If not, it's Brent's. Phaedra, Stepmothers, Tony Carey, Kentucky Gentleman, Mark Almond, Orion, the Buckinghams, Xerox. Dale said he would do that for $8. Dale said he would do that for $8. Kid Creole, Power Dog, Herb Albert, Sergio Mendez, the DeVales, the Jungle Poppers, the Lemon Poppers, Jungle Marmalade, Crimson Tide, Bronco Billy soundtrack, music by Merle and Ronnie, Linda Ronstadt's $5, Dr. Hook, Village People, Paul Anka, Dallas Frazier, The Sound of Descent, and Chet Atkins. How much was Glenn Campbell? That was a soundtrack he does some of the music to. That's called Norwood. That is $10 after the half off. Fine Young Cannibals Not Hits from Part 1 price, $24.99. Actually, I've got it right here. There was somebody asked about it earlier. Let me make sure. That was $24.99. John Young wants the Glenn Campbell if Patty doesn't. Glenn Campbell, starring or introducing Joe Namath. We'll see if Patty wants that. If not, I think John Young wants it. No, I don't want Glenn. Oh, maybe that was a spell correction. He put Glenn with one N. Oh, he was correcting the spelling. That's, you almost bought yourself a Glenn Campbell there. Okay. Yeah, Ed already wrote down your name and Patty's. Okay, so nobody wants anything else out of there. I will move on. That crate looks like the mystery box I got last year. Yeah, that's why we stopped doing mystery boxes. Basically, we were taking the half-off records, and it's like, all right, well, we're going to ship these to people really cheap and or sell them and be like, hey, you know, it's mystery records like stuff Power Dog sold to Ron for $7. It was made for you to buy a bunch of records that you probably normally wouldn't buy, put them on your turntable and listen to them and to see if you would like them, even though you may already know what they are and you know you already don't like it. But people didn't like that. They was hoping they were mystery boxes would be full of Led Zeppelin, Soundgardens, Rushes, Audio Slaves, Jimi Hendrix mint copies, and Pink Floyd's and Nirvana's. And I was like, no, that's usually not what people put in mystery boxes. All right, I've brought up another half-off bin. I've also brought up a Beatles record to put up for auction, just to keep some activity, and I had to walk right by the Beatles bin. So, let's see. Buckingham's for $5. Let me pull that for John Miller. It has encouraged me to claim other records. There you go. So, see, Scott probably took full advantage. He probably got his mystery box. He probably listened to everything that was in there, probably found some music that he didn't know before. But I think some people were like, they're opening them up hoping they'd find like, of course, some of them, y'all know, we had like We hid some like $400 records in some of them. That's what sold them. We had actually the person who won the sealed Pearl Jam. They want to sell it back to me, so they're going to actually make some good money. They want to sell me back that sealed Pearl Jam, so, or I'm going to sell it for them or something. It's got even more expensive since we sold it to them, I think. So I was like, well, it's a mystery box. Okay, $5 start. $5 start. The Beatles live at the Star Club, Hamburg, Germany. A near mint minus on the vinyl. Purple Bellafon German pressing. Purple label, that is. $5 start. Japanese Rolling Stones. Yeah, exactly. What happened was there was like 20 mystery boxes. One had like a really expensive record. 5 had like a couple of $30, $40, $50 records, and the rest of them was like leftover half off. And so doing that math, 75% of most people were unhappy. 5 on the Beatles, now 30. That jumped up very quickly. Nick Bagron is at $30. Let's do another bin of half off. There's JFK again. JFK, the presidential years. That is $10 after the half off. Oh, man. We was just talking about that word tonight. Rural. Rural Delivery number 1. That is the new Lost City Rambler. $7.50. $7.50. Dave Mason, Certified Live. Dave Mason is $10 for Certified Live. Moth the Hoople Live, $10. Dave Mason Live, Moth the Hoople Live. Paul Simon is $10. Live Ryman Simon for Paul Simon. 3 live albums. Vera Our Quintet. Vera Our Quintet, maybe. Positive Vibes. That's $10 after the half off. The original motion picture soundtrack to The Sporting Club. The Sporting Club is $10 after half off. John Hartford. John Hartford is $10. Rod Stewart, Atlantic Crossing, $7.50. And Baker, Groovitz Army, Elysian Encounter. That is $10. Ron Duffield, first to Moth the Hoople Live. Let's go ahead and sell that to Ron. Final call on the Beatles live at the Star Club. Nick Bagron is at $30. That's for the German pressing. Don McLean Tapestry, $5. Jan McLean Tapestry, $5. Jackson Brown, Lives in the Balance, $7.50. And Red Holloway, Red Soul on Prestige, 73 reissue, $10. Red Holloway, Red Soul, $10. I don't know, maybe we need to bring back the mystery boxes. Give it one more chance. Give it one more chance. Ed was having trouble shipping them too because they were like in boxes and we had them taped so it would be truly, you know, it's like, all right, we're going to hide this $500 record just so everybody knows it's in one of these boxes. But then we was having to open them to ship and people was like, wait a minute, why is my box open? So that caused a problem. Philip Michael Thomas, 12-inch single. That's from Miami Vice, $7.50. Tokyo, Brian Ice. Tokyo is $5. Brian Ice. Ball Bird with, there's a Beatles Butcher cover. B-A-L-L, B period, A period, L period, L period. That is $10 after the half off. John Schneider, Trying to Outrun the Wind, $7.50. And the Moody Blues, 7th Sojourn. The Moody Blues is $7.50. The Beatles is sold to Nick Bagron for $30. That's sold to Nick for $30. Let's have some fun with the Fine Young Cannibals. I've touched this record five times. Therefore, we're going to start it for $5 because now it is officially cursed. This does not have She Drives Me Crazy on it. But as confirmed with a couple other people, it did have some hits, even though I classify them as one-hit wonders. It's now a $5 auction. After I touch a record 4 or 5 times, that's it. It's got to get sold. $5 start. No human has ever seen every record ever made, but my money is Chad on for being the closest. Not only that, I've probably read out loud every one of them multiple times. Do you realize how many titles I have read out loud? Whew. There's no telling. 6 hours a night, 6 nights a week. Jackson Brown, Lives in the Balance, $7.50. Jackson Brown, Lives on the Balance, $7.50. I'm not counting Facebook time. When I'm in the back, I'm reading titles out loud myself, Seth. The Outlaws, Bringing It Back Alive, $12.50. The Outlaws, Bringing It Back Alive, that is $12.50. Fine Young Cannibals, 5, 6, 6, 8, and Nick is at 20. I like these big jumps Nick does. $20 on that. Jeffrey Osborne, Stay With Me Tonight. $5 for Jeffrey Osborne, Stay With Me Tonight. Bronco Billy, this is a sealed copy, $15. We had some open copies. There's 15. There's a sealed copy for 15. Moody Blues, On the Threshold of a Dream. That's a VG Plus, $5. Does the sun really shine on the moon? Yes, it does. Gary McFarland and Company, VG Plus, $7.50. Imus in the Morning is sealed, $15. Imus in the Morning was sealed. CCS, Whole Lot of Love. Nothing to do with Led Zeppelin. 1971 folk psych rock. Probably somebody needs to get that. $15 after the half off. We had that at $29.99. Final Call on Fine Young Cannibals. Nick Bagaron has that for $20. Ed Nelson wants Imus in the Morning. What happened to old Imus? Imus in the Morning is sold to Ed Nelson. Let's see. Where did I get to? I think I'm caught up. I hadn't missed anything. Classmates. Classmates is $7.50. Buckley's Best, Lord Buckley, is $10. Lord Buckley, that's in shrink wrap, World Pacific, $10. Russell S. is at $25 on Fine Young Cannibals. It is a remake of Whole Lot of Love, and it made the charts. Wow. Whoa, didn't know that. A cover, let's see here. Let's see who they give song credits to. They also do Living in the Past, Ian Anderson. I don't know the rest of those. Boom Boom, John Hooker. Satisfaction, Jagger and Richard. Whole Lot of Love. Wow, they give credits to Page, Plant, Jones, and Bonham, but I guess is that... I'm thinking about something else. That wasn't really a cover, though, was it? I thought they credited that to somebody else, but I guess not. Let's see here. Fine Young Cannibals. We're at 25. We're back where we started at Sticker. Russell S. is at 25. Let's see here. Rosie, I have a 68 concert program. We'll trade for store credit. Yes, I'll give you some store credit. Do not message John Young. He does not pay as much as me. Troy Shark on Outlaws. Troy Shark on the Outlaws. Outlaws to Troy Shark. That was Bringing It Back Alive. That is sold to Troy Shark. And Nick says, I'll take the lead cover. This is sold to Nick Bagaron. I thought Led Zeppelin, when they credited Whole Lot of Love, they was Page, Plant, John Bonham, and I think they had to give somebody else credit. But I thought I may be thinking about something else. Don Adams, the Detective. Don Adams, the Detective, $7.50. If anybody ever has anything you want to trade or sell me, you can send our page a message. They'll let me know when you message the page, and you can bring it by the store, or if you're out of town, you can ship it to us, and we'll give you store credit. I might have missed the Outlaws album. Oh, I thought you were bidding on... and you said Out. John Porter gets that Outlaws record. John Porter got the Outlaws. Craig was second, and Troy Shark was third. Jimmy Cliff, Special. Jimmy Cliff is a VG Plus, $10. Jimmy Cliff is $10. Johnny Green and the Green Men. Johnny Green and the Green Men, 7 Over from Mars, $7.50. Johnny Green and the Green Men. Dick Gregory, The Light Side, The Dark Side. Dick Gregory is $15 after the half off. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Make It Happen. That is a VG copy for $5. VG copy for $5. Fine Young Cannibals is going twice, going 3 times. The Russell S at $25. John Porter wants Smoke. That was Smokey Robinson. That's sold to John Porter. On the Threshold of a Dream. This looks like a nice copy. And it has the booklet, $10. $10. Very clean copy with the booklet on the Threshold of a Dream. $10. Frank Virtue and the Virtues, Guitar Boogie Shuffle. Frank Virtue and the Virtues, Guitar Boogie Shuffle, $10. And that's a Frank Virtue. Johnny Horton's Greatest Hits, $5 on Johnny Horton's Greatest Hits. We have Lena Lovitch, No Man's Land, Lena Lovitch. That is $7.50. And Wynton Marsalis, Hot House Flowers, $7.50. $7.50. Night Watch, Kenny Loggins. Night Watch is $5. Kenny Loggins. The New Cactus Band, Son of Cactus, $10. Razzie Bailey, that is sealed, $12.50. Willie Nelson is $12.50. Ooh, Paul is sending me pictures from the records we bought today. That's going to be fun to look at. Let's see. Willie Dixon wrote You Need Love, which is basically Led Zeppelin Stove, finally gave credit. I knew I was missing something there. Wow, Doc has made an appearance. Before that, Michael Search said THT Threshold. On the Threshold, the very nice Moody Blues. Sell that to Michael Church. Doc Smith wants the Winton. Doc, you've missed some stuff tonight. That's sold to Doc Smith. And let's go ahead and sell the Fine Young Cannibals. Right where we started, Russell S. is at $25 on the Fine Young Cannibals. We have the Kings are here. The Kings is $10. Ricky Skaggs, Waiting for the Sun to Shine, $7.50. The Best of Newport in New York, $72. The Best of New York in Newport, and that is $7.50. Airport Soundtrack. Airport is $10. And the Marked Men on the outside. The Marked Men is $12.50. The Melodic Stan Getz, that is $7.50. Reader's Digest, Mark Twain's Tom Sawyer. Music and lyrics by Richard Sherman and Robert Sherman. That is $10 after the half off. Stan Freberg with the original cast, $5. Stan Freberg. Wildlife Society, Jacktown. What's Up, Jack? That is $12.50. Gold stamp promo. Doc Smith on the Melodic. That's sold to Doc Smith. Irish Fish. No, Fresh. They're not Irish, they're Fresh. Fresh Fish, Mason Williams, and the Santa Fe Recital. Mason Williams is $10. The Mary Lou Williams Quartet featuring Don Bias. That is $10. Jerry Williams, it always looks like Cone, but it's Gone, I believe. Yeah, Gone. Jerry Williams, gold stamp promo, $5 on that. David's Album, that is by Joan Baez, $5, Joan Baez. Duty, Honor, and Country, which is another. He may have more records. He may have more spoken word records than JFK. That's General Douglas MacArthur. Doc Smith on Mary Lou Williams. And we have World War II, Historic Voices and Music from World War II, with a powerful picture there from June 6, 1944, D-Day. $10 after the half off. This is Voices and Music from History's Greatest War, $10. Some good people and some bad people on there. Carl Perkins, Old Blue Suede's Back, and that's $7.50. Jim Nilsson said $5 on Jackson Browne. Where was there a Jackson Browne record in here? All right, I'm going to read through these titles one more time. Great stuff in here at half off. We'll see where we're at after this crate. I might do one more, or we might stop there. Sell Jim Nilsson, Jax Browne for $5. John Miller said John Hartford for $5. I just passed that, I thought. Let me go ahead and pull that. Hey, there's another Jackson Browne. I got another one in there for $5. If anybody else wants one too, we'll pull that for John Miller for $5. But I'm going to read through these titles. If you want prices, let me know. If you want the half off price, let me know. But yeah, let's go through these. John Porter, I will sell you World War II for $7. World War II for $7. All right, so here's what's left in here. JFK. This is the new Lost City Ramblers. Dave Mason. Paul Simon. Positive Vibes by the Vera Hour Quintet. Soundtrack to the Sporting Club promo. Rod Stewart. Baker Groovett's Army. Don McLean Tapestry. Jackson Browne. Red Holloway. Philip Michael Thomas. B.A.L.L. Bird. Tokyo Brian Ice. John Schneider. Let's sell Dale Sanders the Red Holloway for $7. Sell that to Dale. The Moody Blues 7th Sojourn. Jeffrey Osborne. Bronco Billy soundtrack that was sealed. On the Threshold of a Dream, Gary McFarlane and Company. Classmates, Buckley's Best, Lord Buckley. Don Adams, The Detective. Jimmy Cliff is still available, surprisingly. Johnny Green and the Green Men. Dick Gregory, Guitar Boogie Shuffle. Frank Virtue. Johnny Horton's Greatest Hits. Lana Lovitch, Kenny Loggins, New Cactus Band, Razzie Bailey, Willie Nelson, The Kings, Ricky Skaggs, The Best of Newport in New York, and Airport. Let's see, we got some $5 offers. We'll go ahead and hand those out to Craig Thomas on Jimmy Cliff. Romy Lou wants Don. Pretty sure there was a Don McLean in here, wasn't there? Don McLean Tapestry, or am I crazy? No, there's a tapestry. Sell that to Romy Lou for $5. So Jimmy Cliff is sold to Craig for $5. Romy Lou gets Don McLean for $5. Price on Dave Mason and Rod Stewart. Dave Mason was Rod Stewart was $7.50 for sure. And then the Dave Mason Certified Live 2LP, it was $10. So $10 and $7.50. Doc, we just sold Jimmy Cliff. Sell John Miller Cactus. New Cactus Band. Sell that to John Miller for $5. Which Willie was that? That was the Longhorn Jamboree. The Longhorn Jamboree presents Willie Nelson and his friends. That's $12.50 after the half off. Jim Nilsson said $4 on Kenny Loggins. $4. Sell that to Jim Nilsson for $4. Nick, I've already sold Jimmy Cliff. We got a $12 offer for both to John Ambrosic. Just go ahead and put those down for $6 and $6. John Ambrosic on Dave Mason and Rod Stewart. $6 and $6. Darren offered $7. Already sold for $6. The Marked Men. We had Tom Sawyer, Stan Freberg, comedy album. Wildlife Society, Jacktown. Fresh Fish by Mason Williams. Jerry Williams. Joan Baez. Boy, I can't get that out tonight. Duty, Honor, and Courage. And Carl Perkins' Old Blue Suede's Back. I did pull Stan Getz for Doc. I have already pulled that for Doc. Yes, thanks for the reminder. I went through those very fast. Let me do that one more time. Carl Perkins, we're going to call him the General. The General, Joan Baez, Jerry Williams, Mason Williams, Wildlife Society, Stan Freberg, Tom Sawyer box set. That's music and spoken word. The Marked Men. Willie, Airport soundtrack. The Best of New York in Newport, New York for y'all jazz followers. That has Dizzy Gillespie, Stan Getz, Gary Mulligan. I see Elvin Jones, Max Roach. Ricky Skaggs, The Kings, Razzie Bailey was sealed, Lana Lovitch, Johnny Horton's Greatest Hits featuring the Battle of New Orleans, Frank Virtue, Dick Gregory, Johnny Green and the Green Men, Don Adams, Lord Buckley, Classmates, Gary McFarlane, Moody Blues, Bronco Billy, Jeffrey Osborne, Moody Blues, John Schneider, Tokyo, Ball Bird, and we have a couple questions. Let's see. Tom Sawyer, we have, that was $10 after the half off. Doc Smith said he would give $7 for the Newport. Sell that to Doc Smith. Romy Lou, you were second. John Duran wants the Johnny Horton at half off. And let's sell John Porter the Tom Sawyer box for $8. So that means Doc Smith got Newport for $7. John Duran got that as half off sticker. And Tom Sawyer sold to John Porter for $8. Where did I get to back here? We were at Tokyo, Ball Bird, Philip Michael Thomas, Jackson Brown, the Baker Groovitz Army, the Sporting Club, Vera Our Quintet, Paul Simon, Rural Delivery, and JFK, the presidential years. Anybody else? The Baker Army. Yeah, Ginger Baker from Cream still available in here. That is $10. Ooh, very nice copy. I can tell you where that's from based on the sleeve and the date. That's from the Atlanta collection. Very well taken care of records. $10 on that. Sell that to Rudder Butter for $7. Sell that to him for $7. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else on anything in there? I think that might be where we stop. If anything, I can go through a crate of new vinyl really quick and just read you some titles you may have seen, but I think we're done with vintage half off for the night. I'm going to set these over here. Who's on the Vera Our Quintet? Vera Our Quintet. Let's see here. Fair Hour Quintet. What happened to that one? That was back here, wasn't it? Positive Vibes. Richard Williams, Hugh Brody, Chris White, and Rudy Collins. Let's sell David Cordell the Willie for $5. And we're going to be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock with new vintage arrivals, new vinyl, and we'll have auctions, of course, from that collection. And I hadn't done Japanese really in about 2 nights. We did some last night. Let me read you a few titles in here. We have Pink Floyd, Salsa Full of Secrets. That's in mono, $34.99. Depeche Mode, Black Celebration, $39.99. Pink Floyd Final Cut, $34.99. U2 War, if you missed out on the OG tonight, there's a new remaster, $31. More Pink Floyd, we have Wish You Were Here, Anna Adam Heart Mother. Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power, that's the 2 LP, $36.99. Girls, Theater of Pain. Bush, Razor Blade Suitcase, that's $36.99. Foo Fighters, Echo, Silence, Patience, and Grace, $44.99. Zach Bryan, Deanne, $29.99. Loretta Lynn, Icon, that's her hits. Blue Kentucky Girl, Ain't Woman Enough. Coal Miner's Daughter, that is $36.99. The Gin Blossoms is $33.99. Mammoth, Wolfgang Van Halen, $36.99. Ride the Lightning, $31.99. The Forrest Gump soundtrack, $36. Cinderella Night Songs, $38.99. The Cult, Sonic Temple, $39.99. Dire Straits, Money for Nothing. That's on the green vinyl, remastered by Bob Lugwood, vinyl cut by Bernie Grunman, $49.99. Enough's Enough's Greatest Hits on splatter vinyl, Funkadelic Maggot Brain, and Daft Punk Discovery. That's just a quick little ending note for tonight's sale. Those are all new LPs if you see anything you want. Those are all sticker price though. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 Central Time. Daft Punk, Funkadelic, Enough's Enough, Dire Straits, The Cult, Cinderella, Forrest Gump, Metallica, Mammoth, Gin Blossoms, Loretta Lynn, Zach Bryan, Foo Fighters, Bush, Crew, Pantera, Pink Floyd, U2, Pink Floyd, Depeche Mode, and Pink Floyd. Enough's Greatest Hits is $33.99. That's on purple splatter vinyl. Was that a marked men in the other bin? Marked men. On the first bin or this bin? This bin here, I think we had a marked men, didn't we? Yeah, the marked men, that was on the outside. The marked men on the outside. That was $12.50 after the half off. The marked men. The other side of the store. We did the other day. We went through all of our new vinyl bins, but we haven't in a while, so... Okay, Nick Baggeron says good night. I guess that means he doesn't want it. Chad Fish is going to reissue some albums. Can you check pre-orders, specifically Picture of Nectar? I can do that. Sell this to Craig for $6. Last minute late night deal for Craig. With that, we're going to say good night. Brian, I will definitely check on Fish pre-orders if they're reissuing some of those tough ones to get. And we're going to say thanks for watching. Good night, and we'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and we'll see you then.